Welcome everybody to Strategy with Sally. So lovely to have you all here. I'm your in-house automation nerd, lover of sexy numbers, the founder of the Sparkle Class Academy, and the creator of the Freedom Funnel Formula. What does all that mean? Well, I just love helping coaches. I really, really do. Heart-centered coaches that are out there transforming the lives of many. And we do that through the Freedom Funnel Formula. But today we're going to be talking about empathy mapping. Have you heard of what empathy mapping is? Let me know in the chat if you have heard of what empathy mapping actually is. So let's chat about today's topic. Empathy mapping. It is a super powerful tool that you can put into your marketing toolkit. Now, when you are trying to work out who it is that you are trying to attract, who you are marketing to, an empathy map can actually help you to convert more clients and attract more leads. Now, 20% of new small businesses actually fail in their first 2 years. And there was a study that I was reading recently that a huge reason why businesses fail is that they don't tend to put themselves in their customers' shoes. You see, they've figured out the solution, they've gotten to the other side, but they can sometimes forget what it's like to be the customer, right? So, by walking in the customer's shoes, you can do this by creating an empathy map. Right? This empathy map is a crucial part of your small business so that you can actually create a sustainable business by creating great messaging around who you're trying to attract. Because then your potential customers, the leads, can understand what it is you're there to serve them with, what it is that you're there to help them with. Now, an empathy map was actually created by a guy called David Gray, and he started utilizing it to create UIs. So, like how people interact with a user experience. So on the computer, right? How they click around websites. But not only is it the way they click around, like the doing part of navigating through a website, he also wanted to know, how are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they saying? What are they hearing? All of these things actually affect the way that your potential leads and customers actually interact with your content. Now, it started out as a whiteboard brainstorming session. And I've actually created a whiteboard template for you all to be able to use. But I'm going to share it with you here. Now, if you're listening to this over on the podcast and you can't see any visuals, I do recommend that you head to YouTube to watch this episode, because I am going to give you a visual representation of what the empathy map is. And also, you can grab the template that I'm about to share with you and play around with your own version inside of Canva. So to grab your own copy of the empathy map, just head to sparkleclassacademy.com/empathy map. All right, grab yourself a copy there. It's a Canva whiteboard, right? And it's designed specifically for first-time people who haven't maybe done this before. And also, as you're doing your empathy mapping, if you've got any team members, I highly recommend that you also include your team members in this as well. Now, first and foremost, an empathy map is a reminder of your customer, their mindset, the way in which they engage with you, how they actually encounter your products and your services. services. And it allows you to understand and even predict what your customers' thoughts might be, their feelings in much, much greater detail. Now, the chances are most of you probably haven't done an empathy map before, but once you implement this, it's going to help you to nurture those beautiful humans as well as attract in those people as well. So with an empathy map, you can use it internally so that you can teach your team who your ideal client is, but also it helps you make informed decisions for your product marketing and also decisions for your future marketing and sales strategies. So you've probably heard about designing your ICA, your ideal client avatar. We like to call it your dream client here inside the Sparkle world. They're just not an ideal client, but they're the dreamiest client that you could possibly want. And the great news is today, I'm going to share with you the strategy on how to do that. So we have 7 steps that I'm going to take you through when it comes to developing your empathy map. And you know I love my whiteboard, so I'm going to go and grab my whiteboard now, make sure I've got the right color pencil. Of course it's got to be purple. Head on over to my whiteboard and let's talk about step number 1. So step number 1, start to collect some data. Okay, so what do we mean by collecting data? Do you have any survey data, testimonials, case study, customer interviews, or maybe some high-performing data that might be applicable that you can actually go through so that you can start to read that what your people are saying or watch videos of what they're saying, thinking and feeling. So number 1 is start to bring together some data that you may already have. Now, step number 2 is for you to invite the rest of your team. All right. So invite your team to be part of the process. You see, you would think that you know your customers well, but what about your team? You know, your team are also there to help you make informed decisions around, you know, your conversion events, any of the critical stages that your potential clients go through in regards to their customers' life cycle. So you really want group participation if you do have a team. Now, if you're part of the Sparkle world, of course, we're your team, right? We're your team in a box if you're part of our program. But they're a great way for you to really utilize their thoughts in this process as well. Now, step number 3 is have a tool. So select the tool that you're going to use to do your empathy map. Now, you're very lucky because I've created one for you that you can use in Canva. And it's go to sparkleclassicacademy.com/empathy map to grab yourself a copy. Now, this is a whiteboard tool that I've created for you, and I'll show you in a moment exactly what that looks like. Now, step number 4 is for you to plan 2 hours. You need at least 2 hours to sit down and really brainstorm and mind map this out. Because as you start to put this together, you're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the thoughts and the feelings, right? You really want to discuss and debate all of the ideas that come up with your team. And, you know, a shorter time period than that can really leave your empathy map quite incomplete and even misleading. And you really want a full visualization of your dream client. Then in step number 5, you want to begin the exercise. So do the exercise, right? And I'm going to show you an example of the exercise in a moment when I take you over into the actual empathy map. Then once you've done the empathy map, we're going to, in step number 6, you're going to discuss the 4 main quadrants. Okay, now we're going to show you what the quadrants are momentarily. So you'll discuss the 4 main quadrants that you produce. And then it's up to you and your team to then work out what their pains are and also their gains are. And again, this is in the map that I've created for you. And then the final step is step 7, which is to then build an insight around your customer. Now, once you've so you build and write the insights, okay? Insights around your customers. So all of these here, 5, 6, and 7, these are all inside the template. So would you like to check out the template? Shall we head on over? Yes? All right, let's do it. Okay, so here we are in the empathy map template that I've created for you. Now, as you can see, I've put a lot of little post-it notes over here that you can write on. And of course, you can duplicate these and make more. And the purpose of this is, if we come down here, I've even put the instructions in here for you. So you're going to begin right in the middle, and you can put a person here in this picture. So I've just got a silhouette in the middle here for your dream client. But if you actually have an image of your dream client, or because it's a Canva document, you can come into the elements section and you can search for, maybe you're helping a businesswoman. Okay, and we can go to photos and find yourself who is my ideal client? Right? Is there somebody that stands out for you? I mean, they need rainbow hair, but, most of my people don't have rainbow hair. So let's just bring in one of these. All right. I love this woman's hair. This is awesome. Okay. So you can bring in your ideal dream client. If you've already got one, pop that in the middle there inside of Canva. So as you're speaking about your dream client, you can visually see her. Then what you want to do is you want to start to think about the feelings, okay? What does your customer think and feel? What are their hopes and their concerns? All right, so that's what the think and feel area is for. Then the next area here is the see area. So what would your people see while they're engaging with your business or your team? And then down here, what would your ideal client hear? What are they hearing on the grapevine? What are they hearing from other people who sell your thing, right? How does your customer hear about your small business? Do they hear about it from colleagues? Do they hear about it from social media? What spheres of influence do they actually listen to? And then finally, the 4th quadrant is what do they say and do? So in relation to that, what are they engaging in with your business? Is it public? Is it a private setting? How are they actually touching, feeling, engaging, interacting with you and your business? All right. So once that's step number 5, the main exercise. All right. So what I've done down the bottom before I came here live today is I gave about 6 for each of these sections for, say, one of our ideal clients. So, for example, in the think and feel area, let's get rid of this. In the think and feel area, this is a coach who wants help with marketing. All right. They need help with marketing. So based on a coach who might be wanting help with their marketing strategies, right, so that they can create a high ticket offer and sell it using online marketing strategies, what are some of the things that they would think and feel? So here's some examples. They would feel overwhelmed by all the complexities of marketing and the consistent change in the digital landscape. So that's one feeling that they might have. Or they might be really wanting and thinking about attracting more clients to grow their coaching business. Something else that they might be feeling is a struggle to design their actual unique offer and then being able to communicate it clearly to their target audience. They value authentic relationships. So they're thinking, I want to build an authentic coaching business. I don't want to use all that salesy, sleazy, icky, gross stuff. They worry about not having enough knowledge and expertise. It's very common in our niche that a lot of you out there are worried about, imposter syndrome and somebody knowing more than you. And they also aspire to really leverage their marketing to spread their sparkle far and wide, right? They want to increase their visibility and get out there and transform more lives. So that was a quick brainstorm. It wasn't 2 hours, but that was a quick brainstorm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these Post-it notes over in here. And of course, you can fill this area up with lots more ideas around the think and the feel. Now, the next one over here is, let me just check what I did. So the C area. So what are some of the things that my ideal client may see? So they're observing other successful coaches out there in the marketplace already getting a steady stream of income, right? That's what they see. It's possible, right? They notice other marketing campaigns, right? Are you scrolling through your socials and you keep seeing other coaches' marketing campaigns popping up in front of you with similar services? Probably, yeah? They're also starting to pay attention to the efforts of what other industry leaders are doing and their competitors are doing. They're also starting to recognize the power of social media content and marketing on social media to grow their business. They're also noticing and seeing other people's testimonials and positive reviews that have led to people making decisions to buy into their program. And they're also noticing that the role of their branding and their visual identity needs to kind of stand out from the crowd, right? So that's a few things that I have put into the C area. Now, these are quite quick, but as you can see, we're starting to now populate out the empathy map. Now, if we move down into the here, what sorts of things does this dream client hear? So they may hear feedback from potential clients who found them through their social media. They may also hear that other people are converting, right? So they're hearing from other coaching experts and they're looking for advice by listening to them. They're also listening to their clients' needs and desires so that they can align it to their marketing message and also to their sales strategies. They're also hearing about lots of marketing strategies out there from lots of coaches, right? And I get that it can be quite overwhelming and confusing when marketing isn't your zone of genius. Also, they've been hearing lots of feedback from their customers as well. So they're working with customers and hearing feedback. And also they may listen to podcasts, they may attend webinars, they may read blogs or social media posts all around marketing. So now we've got some things that the client hears, okay, or my dream client hears. Now, what are some of the things that they say and do? So, for example, they use various marketing channels, so websites, social media, emails, newsletters, all of these different channels they're using and doing to promote their business. They're creating content like blog posts, videos, podcasts to showcase their area of expertise for their potential clients. They're also trying to engage with their audience. So they're commenting on posts, they're in messages, they're replying to emails. They're also attending networking events, and they're going to conferences and connecting with potential clients. They're also out looking for collaborations so that they can find people who are complementary to their business, not competitive, but complementary influencers that you can do joint ventures with or partner with. They're also seeking opportunities for, say, speaking engagements or guest appearances on podcasts. So these are some of the things that they're doing or saying. So we're going to pop those into the say and do area. Okay, so this is a very quick overview, but we're starting to populate this out. And of course, you're going to have many, many more things, but that's what we do first. Now, brainstorm everything while you're doing the empathy map part, okay? There is nothing wrong with having lots and lots of things on this board. The best thing to do is to pull as much out of your brains as possible, right? And the best way to do that is once you start to write one of these things down, ask yourself why, right? And dig deeper. Tell me more. Why do they want that? Why do they think that? Why do they feel that? Why do they do that? And then you're going to go even deeper into those thoughts, feelings, what they hear, say, see, and do. Okay, now once you've mapped out this top quadrant, then what you want to do is move down into the pains and gains section. So here, this is where we move into step number 6, which we discussed before, was to take time to discuss the 4 quadrants that you've produced. Once you've evaluated all the responses, and ask yourself, what are the customers' pains? What are their worries when they're engaging with your business? Or what are their gains or their hopes and dreams when they actually engage with your business? So again, I'm going to head on over and show you some of the things that we came up with here. So some of the pains that our clients have is that they struggle to identify their target audience and develop a really effective persona, right? Really digging deep into their ideal dream client. Another thing that they really struggle with is they're uncertain of the different marketing channels that they can use. Right? There are so many options out there, right? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and now we've even got Threads, and I mean, it goes on and on. TikTok, I mean, the list goes on and on. Clubhouse, right? There are so many places in which you can market your business. Another thing that they struggle with is creating consistent content that continuously engages, but is also valuable content, right? Do you think to yourself, oh, I should really do that post, or I should really do that live video, right? So they really find it challenging to be consistent on social media. They also may have budget constraints, right? Because they're a small business. They can't spend $1 million on marketing every month, right? They've got money for marketing, but also they need to make sure that their marketing efforts are very effective. They also experience difficulty in measuring those sexy numbers, which is what I love to do. That's not a difficulty for me, but that's most of my clients are like, I know I need to be measuring my numbers, but what numbers do I actually track, right? Because there are hundreds and hundreds of numbers to choose from. So that's another pain point that they have. And there's a huge worry about standing out amongst all of their competitors, right? To look different from everybody else out there that's a life coach or is a yoga coach, right? So whatever it is, these are just a couple. And I mean, we could go on and on, but these are the first sort of 6 ones that came up from quickly looking through those things that I had up the top. So I'm going to move those down now into the pains area. So these are some of the reasons why they would be struggling, right? And what are some of the other pains that you can think of, that maybe some of the objections that they might have? So other ones I can think of is they've hired coach after coach after coach, and they're just not sure if this one's going to be any different than all the other ones, right? So the next one is we're going to move up to the gains section. So here, the gain of working with our business is that they want to be able to attract a steady flow of high quality leads and increase their conversions, right? They also want a desire to truly establish their brand inside their business so that they have a strong presence online and they stand out from everybody else. They also, because, they really want to build a heart-centered business, they really hope to build long-term, authentic relationships with clients using their coaching program. They also aspire to be an expert in their niche or their industry, or they're working on their mindset to believe that they can be. They're also seeking to leverage marketing to generate passive income streams and a scalable coaching business, and they want to feel confident and empowered to do marketing and see tangible results. You cannot sell a secret, guys. You have to be marketing or you're not running a business. So let's take those examples now and we'll pop them over into what people will gain by working in our business. Now, of course, there'll be more than what we've put in here as examples. And then what you want to do is you want to discuss the two areas that you have in the pains and also the gains area, and then start to finalize a visual representation of your customer's mindset. So then over here is an example of a dream client. So our dream client, who they are, they're a heart-centered coach with a high-ticket offer that they sell to help transform people's lives. Okay, I could go deeper in that. They're usually 40 plus. They've usually worked in corporate. They're very highly driven to be successful. They've got an abundance mindset, right? Then what do they need to be successful? So you know what they need, okay? So I know that our clients need a clear message so that they can feel confident sharing what it is that they do. And that's done by developing a signature method, which allows them to then sell high ticket. And then they need to follow a proven marketing strategy, because most of my clients aren't marketing experts, right? They've got a zone of genius in something else. That's why they come to us. And then they also need to track their numbers to make informed decisions. Because if you're not tracking your numbers, you're just guessing, right? And we don't want you guessing. We want you to be running a sustainable, scalable business. And then what are they looking for? So when they come to us, they are actually wanting help to pull all the stuff out of their brain and create an offer that converts and is easy to explain. They also want help with their tech and their funnels so they can stop piecemealing their business together. And they want help with a proven sales and marketing strategy to get more clients so they can spend more time doing what they love, which is actually helping people. And you can go even deeper into this. So there's lots of room for you to, I'll leave this in here for you as well when you download the template so you can see my example here. But up the top, once you dig deeper, once you really start asking why, tell me more, why, and dig deeper into think, see, hear, and say and do in your empathy map, you're really going to start to be able to walk in your client's shoes. So once you have together that empathy map, then I recommend that you start to map out some sales and marketing automation that will allow you to continuously nurture those beautiful humans on your email list, using a lot of what you've done in this empathy map to create content around it. So if they're struggling to find time in the day to exercise, right, that might be one of the things that they think they don't have enough time in the day to exercise. Well, then you can reference that and create content around why it's important to do that. All right, so that's what is an empathy map. It's a way for you to map out your ideal client, but at a much deeper sort of mindset level. Not so much the demographics, a woman, a coach, 40 plus, with X amount of children, all of those things. It really gets into that mindset level of how they think and feel and see and the things they hear that affect the decisions that they make, the things they're currently doing or saying that might be even holding them back, right? So really dig deep into this. Like I said, you need at least 2 hours to do this well, okay? And then keep the document, because every time you go to create more content, you're thinking about creating a automated nurture campaign inside of, your CRM. Use this as a reference point around what should I make my content around. It's much easier to have that consistency with your messaging when you have this resource for you and your team to go back to over and over and over again. Well, there we go. That is the empathy map.